Call the meeting to order. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Roll call. Councilmember Leach is absent. Approval of the agenda. We have one addition, 7J. Approved change order 2026 authors project sidewalk. Is there any other changes to the agenda? Council?
No.
Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with that change?
So move.
A motion by Brad. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Approval of the minutes of the July 15th, 2026 regular meeting. I'll receive them in your packet. Is there any corrections or clarification needed from within those minutes? Hearing nothing, do I have a motion to approve the July 15th meeting?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Scott. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Public open forum. Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Is there anyone here that would like to speak to the council? Seeing no one, our public open forum is now closed. We have no public hearings. We'll move on to reports and presentations. EDA report. Vicki?
So the EDA met today in regular session at noon. They had a short meeting and they did receive the chamber update on Sinclair Lewis Days. They did discuss the Authors Phase 2 project and they do have a recommendation about removing one part of the sidewalk. I think we kind of briefly touched on it at the city council at a previous meeting, and so now they have a formal recommendation, and that's the new add to your agenda. They're also recommending the TIF pay-go payments for the first half of the taxes. That'll actually come to the city council at the next meeting. They did see the final closeout numbers for the Main Streeter apartment abatement contract. That was when we purchased the land and put in the infrastructure and made those lots for that development up there, and that is all fully paid itself back now. And also they did look over and discuss the 2027 proposed budget for the EDA. So we do have that one action item tonight and then one for the next meeting.
Okay. Questions? Concerns? Okay. Park board report.
The park board also met in regular session today at 5 o'clock. They had a brief update on the archery range project. They also looked at the 2027 proposed budget for all of the departments that are under the purview of the park board. And then they also discussed briefly the 2027 proposed campground tent site bathrooms and also a lawnmower purchase. These are both things for the CIP that'll be going to operations committee, but I wanted to get their input on it as well. So they have no action items for you tonight.
Okay. Any questions concerning the park board? Hearing nothing, we'll move on to our action items. 7A, approve resolution 2026-53 authorizing purchase of squad radios.
So the police department, they're in the process of updating their 800 megahertz radios with the newer enhanced version with encryption. We did include funds in the 2026 budget to replace 2 of the units. We did get an updated quote from DSC Communications for 2 Motorola radios, which is consistent with the other department's radios. The quote is for $5,572.20 each for a total of $11,144.40. The budget that was put in for the purchase this year was $12,000. I did include the quote in the packet for you to review, and I'm looking to approve resolution 2026-53 authorizing the purchase of 2 800 megahertz radios.
Okay. Questions? Concerns? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2026-53?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Joe. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Brad. Last minute discussion. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7B, approve resolution 2026-54, authorizing quotes for street vehicle.
So the street department budget does have in its 2026 budget the replacement of the 2014 Ford pickup. The funds have been accumulated and set aside in the sinking fund. The budget was $55,000. The department is requesting authorization for soliciting quotes for the replacement from local dealers and from the state bid, and then that would come back to the city council at a future meeting if you choose to purchase it. So we're looking for resolution 2026-54, authorizing the quotes for the replacement pickup for the street department.
Okay, questions, concerns? I know I talked to Ben earlier about it today, so it's got, what, 67,000 on it and starting to rust out, and it's not nickel and diming us yet, but it's getting close, so. If there's no other discussion, do I have a motion to approve resolution 2026-54?
So moved.
Motion by Brad. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7C, approve resolution 2026-55, authorizing signatures on grant agreement.
So the city has been selected to receive a grant from MnDOT Aeronautics for crack filling at the airport. The grant total is $84,700, so that would be their share. It's actually a 70-30, I have 75% in there. So the total is like $111 to $114 project, of which we'll get reimbursed $84,700. Existing airport funds generated from hangar rental and fuel sales has been allocated for the balance. We do require a resolution of the city council authorizing signatures on the grant. So we're looking for resolution 2026-55, approving the state airport grant agreement with the Minnesota Department of Transportation.
Questions? Concerns? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2026-55?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Scott. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Second by Joe. Last minute discussion. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7D, approve pay application number 3, Everstrong Construction Hangar Grant.
So Everstrong Construction is the contractor that's doing the 90 by 80 box hangar at the airport. They've submitted for payment this number 3. As you see, the original contract price was $852,944.80. They've completed $766,000 and some change. The amount due with this request is $53,620.57. There'll be another request once they complete. This is the one that is funded by a federal grant, 95% federal, 2.5% state, and 2.5% local. What we're just looking for tonight is to approve pay request number 3 to Everstrong, $53,620.57.
Questions? Concerns? So when we get the next request, that'll have everything the punch list was. that
Right,
need-
they just had a walkthrough on Monday,
Okay,
so there's punch list items that need to be completed, and there's some other work out there that's not done yet. So our next pay request to Everstrong will likely be the final, will probably not come to us till closer to the end of the year.
okay. Sounds good. Any other questions? Do I have a motion to approve the pay request number 3?
Motion to approve.
Motion by Joe. I'll second it. Any other questions or discussions? Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7E, approve change order 2025 project warranty extension.
At last council meeting, the city engineer presented a proposal to accept the sealing of sidewalks in the 2025 project with the condition that a warranty extension for those portions of the sidewalk. This agreement was to come back to the city council. I did email it to you earlier, and you also have a paper copy on your desk tonight. This is for the council's ratification. So we're looking to approve that change order for the 2025 public improvement project. And that'd be change order number 4, actually.
Okay. Questions about this? I went out and looked with Ben and looked at the sidewalks that needed fixing. Also looked at the seals, where they did the test seals. It looks a lot better and it doesn't blend. What I was worried about when they seal something in or patch a sidewalk, it looks like a patchwork quilt. And I figure anybody that's paying assessments don't need to have a new sidewalk that has 10 different shades in it. So I went out and looked at it. The only question I got is, say in the 2.5 years they're giving us once the project is done, and this seal starts to break down, if it does, how are they gonna fix it? So are they gonna come back and just wanna put another seal on it to get us through? Or are they actually gonna come in and tear the concrete out and do it the right way?
Can you just clarify a question? Do you mean within the warranty period? Is that what
Within
you
the
meant?
warranty period, if it starts to fail, are they gonna just replace the sidewalk, or are they just gonna Band-Aid fix it with another seal job?
That's really kind of up to us to tell them what needs to be done. If it doesn't stay on, it starts to cause an issue in the 2.5 years, I would say it comes out and it gets replaced.
Okay. So
That would
that's,
be my recommendation, how we move forward
right.
in that warranty period.
So I didn't know that answer, whether or not that's the way things would have been, work out, because if they're just gonna come out and Band-Aids, fix it with another seal and say, there, you got another 2 years or another year on it, that's not fixing the problem.
Because at that stage, we'll have the ability to say, hey, this isn't working here, it came off. Therefore, we're moving back to removal and replacing.
Okay.
Does,
Go
I have a
ahead.
question on
No.
that. Does that not need to be though in the change order or in some type of language somewhere? I mean, how do we have that ability to say, 2 years from now, when there's 2.5 years left, you're saying it's going to be completely removed and replaced? What gives us that right to tell them that if?
It would be part of the warranty that's within the contract as to what our remedies are for those things. So if something is defective, we can have them remove it, replace it, whatever we feel is the right thing to do. We've agreed at this stage with this change order to do one approach. If that doesn't work, we still have the remedies of saying, okay, it needs to be fixed and fixed differently. This is how you need to remove it and replace it. That's still in the original contract.
Do we maintain the retainage on this portion of it, or does the retainage get paid back because they did a fix, so to speak?
Yeah. The retainage usually is paid, it's finalized out, so this is a warranty that goes on. So yes, this is, the retainage is paid, everything from a financial perspective is finalized out with the final payment. We can't really hold their money for that kind of period. There'd be, I've never seen that done. I don't know if there's any way to do something different along those ways, but I've never seen that done.
Okay, so basically what you're saying is, what we received today from Vicky was the change order.
Yep.
Do we have it on record someplace, the actual warranty of what's happening? Because we haven't seen that.
The warranty's in the contract itself, if I think that's what you mean. So that's in the contract documents.
So then we'd be able to use that to go back if this
Correct,
fails.
Correct, and you have a contract here. That's
Okay.
correct, that's correct.
All right,
And also I'd like, is that because the contractor hasn't signed this, to go forward, I'd say your approval would be contingent on their signing that change order. That's the way you should word an approval of it.
okay. We got a timeline? I know you,
Of getting started, I've been asking and asking. All I keep getting is all the product is ordered. I don't even know if they have it yet. I just keep saying it's on order. They say it's going to be very soon. That's all I know at this point. I keep asking on a daily basis, when are you starting? When is this going to start? And I wish I could tell you an exact date, but I can't at the moment.
Is there a certain date as far as they shouldn't be doing it after?
Well, certainly in the late fall, we don't want it to be done, say, yeah, it depends on temperatures, but generally late October-ish, we don't really want this kind of stuff to be done. There are temperature requirements with the product that is specifically named in the change order. So we'll have to be adhering to those, very, very diligently. But it won't take them that long once they get it. We just need to get them here to get started and to do it.
Okay.
So I'm hopeful that we'll have all this done yet by the end of this month, but I can't guarantee you that at the moment.
Okay. Any other questions, concerns? Do I have a motion to approve the warranty change order?
With the caveat.
With what?
With the caveat that it's subject to their signing thereof.
Right. Do I have a motion?
I'll make that motion with that caveat that they sign it.
Okay, we have a motion by Scott. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
Brad will second it. Any other questions or discussion?
It's kind of concerning, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I guess the main contractor, we'll have to hold them to that. I don't know what else we got.
Yeah, that's the only thing we got, so. My problem is none of that, I don't think we really seen or got to go over any of it before this came up, so. I have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7F, approve resolution 2026-56, authorizing installation of traffic control signs.
So we get a request from a resident on Walnut Street, requested that the city install a stop sign at the intersection of 4th Street South and Walnut. They stated that traffic on Walnut is moving rapidly. Sometimes those approaching on 4th don't stop. There have been no accidents at this intersection to date. However, Chief Jensen does state he is in favor of that proposal. So in addition, if the stop sign on 4th approaching Walnut is installed, we may want to consider on Maple as well approaching 4th. That's why we get that, you go 2 blocks and you stop, and you go 2 blocks and you stop, just like we kind of did in the new project over there. So that's what's before you today, is to install 3 stop signs at those locations. And that's resolution 2026-57.
Okay, questions, concerns? Do I have a motion to approve resolution 2026-57?
I'll make that motion.
Motion by Joe. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Brad will second it. Any other discussion? I know Dusty's here, but I was just gonna see, or can we keep an eye on, since we're talking Walnut Street, that's getting to be a pretty heavy speed zone.
I personally sit on the corner, Walnut, Fourth Street right there, tractors going face to the south.
Yep.
And they do come down and up like that.
Because we got the trail crossing and everybody's going to the arena or cutting across to go to Beltline, and they're flying through there pretty quick. So that's the reason why there might be something else. We might have to throw another stop sign on Walnut just to slow them down. Do something there. Just something to think about. Is there any other discussion? We'll call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7G, approve resolution 2026-57, declaring costs to be assessed, 2027 project.
So with that project coming along, we keep getting more and more questions about what assessments will be. And so I do have the proposed timeline for the improvement, how we've been looking at it. You know, if we did the preliminary hearing on assessment in October, if you recall, when we had the preliminary assessment on improvement, we didn't do the assessment at the same time because there were so many unknowns. And so we could do, this fall, we could do the preliminary hearing on assessment, and then we'd go into the final plans in November and December, bidding window January, February, award February, March, project begins in May. And then the final assessment isn't done till like October of '27, so they start paying in '28. So that's kind of what we're looking at. Because we didn't do the preliminary assessment hearing along with the preliminary improvement hearing, we need to actually declare the cost to be assessed. And then we bring that back to you, and then you call the hearing. So it's kind of an extra step that we put in there. We do have to do these steps because of the way we're going to bond for the project, include special assessments, so that 429 process that we have to follow. So all this does is declares costs to be assessed, and these are based on estimates yet. We may end up amending it in the future. But we're going to look at the start paying in 2028. So they wouldn't start in '27 because the project's not going to be done until '27. So that's Resolution 2026-57, declaring costs to be assessed and ordering for preparation of the assessment. We already have a draft assessment of the first run of it. Now we've got some corrections to make, so we'll bring that forward. And we'll get ready to have that hearing, and so everybody can be informed of what to expect, knowing that when the final happens, it can change.
Okay, questions, concerns about the timeline? Do I have a motion to approve Resolution 2026-57? Is what it is? Okay,
Motion to approve.
motion by Scott. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
Joe will second it. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7H, approve resolution 2026-58, calling hearing on special assessments, delinquent accounts.
This is similar, and you know we do this every year, that we look through our delinquent accounts, and we have a public hearing in the fall, and then this gets certified with their taxes. This resolution calls that hearing on the special assessments to be held on October 7th. That gives us time to pull it together and to get the notices and the publications and everything out. So we're looking to approve Resolution 2026-59, calling the hearing on the special assessments for delinquent accounts.
Questions, concerns? Is it 58 or 59? Because one sheet is saying 58.
Oh, I'm not
In the
sure.
packet says
The
59.
resolution has
It's
58. Resolution
It
says
is 58?
Well,
and then so
just a
does,
second.
Because that's the reason why I said 57 on the last one.
It's
because-
58.
Okay,
In numerical order.
right, okay. Any questions? Otherwise, do I have a motion to approve Resolution 2026-58?
So moved. I'll make a motion.
Okay. Brad made a motion. Do I have a second?
second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7I, approve appointment to Hospital Advisory Board.
So the city appoints members to the Sauk Center Hospital Advisory Board as vacancies occur. CentraCare has submitted a recommendation for appointment to fill the seat vacated by Sarah Abel. The recommended appointment to replace her is Betty Blankush. So that's what this improvement is, request is today is to approve the appointment of Betty Blankush to the Sauk Center Hospital Advisory Board.
Okay? Questions? Comments? Otherwise, do I have a motion to approve the appointment?
So moved.
Motion by Joe. I will second that. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. 7J, approve change order 2026 Authors Project Sidewalk.
So the EDA today discussed the sidewalk in Authors Phase 2. You know that it's on Hendricks. It goes up the west side of Hendricks Street, and then it was proposed to turn and then go out on Kennecott to the east. And the EDA is recommending that east leg be removed from the project because there's no connection in the foreseeable future down there. Hickman has just been redone, and they didn't see that putting the sidewalk there that would just terminate at the property line was necessary. The future Kennecott going west of Hendricks, they're recommending that stay in the project because then that would go across and then come back down and connect. So that would be a loop in the middle of the Authors Edition but there would not be a sidewalk going out Kennecott to Hickman. So that's kind of what the vision is. So they're requesting the approval of Kennecott sidewalk east of Hendricks on Authors Phase 2 project.
Okay. Questions, concerns? Otherwise, I'll look for a motion to approve the removal of the Kennecott sidewalk.
So moved.
Motion by Scott. Second? I can second it. Any other discussion? Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Oppose, abstentions?
Aye.
Motion carries 3 in favor, none against, 1 abstention. Unfinished business, Authors Edition 2 Progress Report.
Okay, Mayor and Council, Authors Edition is moving right along. The pipe work should all be completed by the end of this week, so that will all get finished. All that's left is a little bit of storm sewer, actually kind of right behind Joe's house, and a couple services, and that's all that's left out there for utilities. They'll be installing a couple of utility crossings for the electric on Monday, so that's kind of some minor pipe work, if you will. Then the sub will be coming back, working on subgrade and starting gravel in there. We potentially could have some curb going in by maybe the end of next week or early the next. So probably in somewhere in the 2-weekish time frame, 2 full weeks, we might even be able to have our first lift of blacktop down out there. So that's where that's at. And then we'll wait a little bit for small utilities to get in and probably try to get that in before we do the sidewalk and try to do that afterwards. So that's going well. And any questions on Authors?
Questions? Okay.
The 2025 project, we talked a little bit about the warranty work already. Hopefully that will get started soon on that. We do have one driveway, I think it's 414 Pine, that we're going to add on to widen. Those costs are going to go onto the assessment for that particular homeowner, so that'll be an add, so that'll be something we'll do on there. Otherwise, a little bit of striping was done this week. That's all completed. So it's really pretty much, making sure that the grass is growing where it's supposed to and looks the way it's supposed to, and those are kind of punch list items. We'll have to be watching those in the warranty period for those. But largely things are, pretty well done. The church and the railing, if you've driven by there, is complete. I think it looks really quite nice in there, so everything is done there. So it's down to just a few little things left, plus the warranty work at this point. So any questions on that one?
Okay. Anyone with questions about that? Did we have it in the contract that we were going to have Pine Street painted?
We did, yeah. Just that block.
Just that one
so
block.
It's so wide that in order to kind of delineate what the driving lanes are and the parking lanes and through there. So that, yeah, it was in the contract to do that.
Okay. All right, and then Trunk Highway 71, Phase 1.
Yeah, 71, it's moving right along. Soil borings on the streets have started this, actually, I think yesterday or maybe today. Can't remember if they started yesterday, but those are going forward. Should have those done by middle of next week at least or earlier. So we'll have those done. We'll use that as part of our final design for those. We know most everything is sand, so it's in good shape, but we need to check those things. 8th Street in particular to see if we had any granite in through there, so we know where that's at on 8th Street, and in particular for the bypass road in through there to see what kind of soils are back in that area. So we'll have all the information soon. Otherwise, the design's continuing, it's going well. I don't really have any questions for you yet. Kind of what I think might be a good thing is to come here with, provide you like a draft set of plans, kind of that 80% thereabouts, and then just have you look through them, and we could kind of just walk through them, see anything you kind of don't like. It'd be a good time to make some adjustments at that point in time. I think that would be a good thing to do. That way you're you're kind of in the loop before it gets to sort of the end, if you will. So I think that's maybe the good thing to do. I don't know, maybe next meeting or certainly the one after that for sure would be time for that. So we'll kind of plan on that in either the next or the next council meeting, one of the two. The only thing we really have is we're doing some final plat work, finding some irons yet on 2nd Street South to make sure we know exactly where the lots are at. And then 8th Street South as well, east of Ash Street through there. So just kind of, and we just got that done, so I'm kind of nailing that down pretty well as we speak, essentially, for those. And then it'll be ready to be able to come to you for those, okay? I can tell you we have a meeting set with the school district, some staff from there, regarding the storm sewer line that goes, from essentially across the end of 8th Street and across through their fields. There is an existing line there, there's an easement there, there's been discussions when we had public meetings about, maybe we'd like that moved because we might be doing some different things in there. So this will be the time to talk with them about it and see, are we going to move? Are we going to change things through there? So just let you know that that's going to happen on Monday.
On Monday?
On Monday, yep.
Okay. What time?
1 o'clock if you'd like to be out there. 1 o'clock, we'll just meet kind of on site.
Here or at the school?
At the school, yep, at the
Okay.
school. So I'm having stakes, so I'm going to put some stakes in the ground of where it is, so everyone kind of knows where the line is, where the easement is. Currently, it's proposed to be put back exactly where the one is now, essentially just replacing it with a larger pipe. But they might wish to do some different things in the property, and they might wish us to go a little bit north and out, and which we can accommodate. So it's possible to do that. We just need to make sure we're all on the same page. If we move it, then obviously easements come into place. We'll have to get different easements, so we'll have to work together on those things. So
Okay.
that's kind of where we're at. Any questions on 71?
Questions? Concerns? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
We have no new business. Moves on to the consent agenda. We have schedule of claims. We have unpaid claims of $809,483.99. We have Resolution 2026-59, accepting contributions, $241.75 from the men's card playing group to be allocated to the senior center, $2,100 from the Sauk Center Conservation Club to be allocated to the park department for a flagpole, $750 from the Lions Club of Sauk Center to be allocated to the outdoor skating rink. And on behalf of this council and the rest of the city, I want to thank those groups for their contributions. Is there any questions about the consent calendar as presented? Do I have a motion to approve the consent calendar as presented?
So,
Motion by Brad. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Last minute discussion. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Informational items.
Just have a few informational items for tonight. The hazardous waste and citywide cleanup day is already upon us again. It's on the 19th. It's up at the Civic Arena, and I have in the flyer of the kinds of things that they can take up there. So, and hopefully it gives a chance for everybody to get rid of some of those items, very reasonable cost. We also have the Spectrum channel lineup changes again, and then also the early voting days and hours that has started. It is this week through Saturday, so you can vote 8 to 4:30 the rest of this week, and then Saturday 9 to 3, and then Monday to 8 to 5. So this is if you're a city resident of Sauk Center, you can come here to City Hall and vote. Any other person in this whole county can vote in Melrose City Center. They have ballots for everywhere, or you can go to Waite Park, the admin center, or the St. Cloud City Hall. So they have 3 other locations that you can vote if you're like Sauk Center Township. We've had a few of those come in. We have to send them to Melrose. So, and then the last thing I have is the speed sign report. This was for Park Road. If you remember, there was some conversation about speeding on Park Road. And I put this out of it. They actually collected 30,418 data points. They had an average daily volume of 1,520. The posted speed is 30. The average speed was 28.7. So the 50th percentile was, half of them were 28 and above, half of them were below 28, half were above 28. The 85th percentile was 41, so there is a few that are out there that were going fast, and the police department is looking at that. But finding that people are, on average, pretty much going right what the speed limit is telling them to do. So that's what I have for that.
Okay. Questions on any of those items? That brings us to the end of our agenda. Do I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Scott. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Call the question. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 4 in favor, none against. Meeting adjourned.